Afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for being here today. We're going to talk about a very serious incident that happened this past week in downtown St. Pete. To my left and to your right, you're going to see various toys, and I'll call them toys for right now, that can be very dangerous. And when I want me out of being very dangerous, they can cause a lot of harm to people. So this past weekend, Saturday, we had a few juveniles decide to show up downtown with these toys, and they were going to use these youth were going to use these toys just to shoot at each other, we assume. But then as they started more, then they started shooting into crowds. They shot two people that we're aware of, and then they started shooting at the police officers. They shot two police officers, and then mostly they got into a vehicle, and they were going up and down Beach Drive with one juvenile hanging out through the sunroof, and they were shooting into the crowd. And as that car was going up and down Beach Drive, the juvenile also shot our horse here, Storm. The horse was shot in the shoulder, the neck, and in the eye. We're very fortunate that it wasn't serious, and we're very fortunate the horse was trained, because just think about that horse being shot in the eye. It could have taken the rider, kicked the rider off the horse, and then gone down the street and possibly injured more people. The point I want to get across is these toys are very dangerous. These youth that are using these toys should realize they could hurt someone. And what I want to make sure I tell the youth and the parents, if we catch these kids out there using these toys the wrong way, we will arrest you. And if possible, if we can prove that the parents had knowledge, the parents, you hear what I'm saying, the parents can be charged, not charged, let me phrase that, they can have to pay restitution to the harm that it caused to the person that has been shot or any damage. Also to any adult that decide to hang out with these children that are out there using these toys. We will charge you with delinquency of a minor, because you know what these kids are doing with these weapons. And like I said earlier, when I said the car was going up and down, a 22-year-old was the person driving the car, driving this 14-year-old around so this kid could shoot into the crowd. These are dangerous toys. I'm telling you right now, do not bring them back downtown or to any community in using these to shoot at people, because if we can, and we will charge you, and again to the parents, you will have to pay restitution for any damages that are caused by these pellets. So with that, any questions?
Chief, it's kind of amazing that the officers were able to apprehend these young people so quickly. How did that happen?
Thanks to our teams and to our enforcement, we have officers that are stationed downtown on the weekends. We have more officers that are stationed there because of our bar crowds and everything. And so they were able to identify, they were able to see the car go up and down, they were able to do good police work and make that arrest. We also, this weekend, we're going to add more officers to work downtown. We're going to bring in our school resource officers because they know these kids. So we see these kids using these toys the wrong way, we're going to arrest them.
I mean, as a parent, you might look at that and go, well, it looks harmless to me. I mean, they clearly don't look like firearms because of the orange tips and the color scheme and everything like that. But what would you say to parents about realizing the potential danger here?
What I would tell the parents, and thank you for that question, what I'll tell the parents is, this is a toy used the right way, but when you take that toy and you point it toward a person, or in this case, an animal also, and you shoot that gel pellet at someone, it's going to hurt. It's going to cause some type of damage to that person. And you don't know, again, it could go into the eye or someplace that could cause even serious damage to someone. It's a toy. Don't point it at someone. You always tell someone, don't point anything at anyone. Do not use this toy in that manner.
So I've also heard, because this has happened in other jurisdictions as well, and I've heard that some people are taking those gel pellets and putting them in the freezers so that they have a greater velocity, greater impact, and that can hurt.
That can really hurt, and thank you. I didn't know that, so thank you for bringing it to us. Oh yeah, you shouldn't do that at all. It is a toy. It wasn't meant to be used that way, and the kids think it's a game. It's not a game, because you're going to hurt someone. And again, you're going to either be arrested, and the parents could have to pay for any hospital bills that occur during these children using these toys the wrong way.
And speaking to those points, although these are toys and can be used just as toys and in an innocent way, knowing that these are 14-year-olds going around, showing this kind of behavior behavior with something that simulates that of a weapon and doing this in large crowds? You know, what does that say about the behavior of, you know, these young kids, really?
What I say about these young kids is, like, I'm not going to blame it on the manufacturer of these weapons, but the kids should know what these weapons were used for, since they weapons, I'm sorry, toys, what they're used for. And they weren't meant to go shoot into a crowd and shoot at some people. For these 14-year-olds that they're seeing anything on social media, wherever they're seeing this, it's not used for that. And we're not going to tolerate that here in this city. If we catch you doing something wrong with these toys, we're going to charge you. And again, we're going to make sure that we put it in the affidavit so the parents can be held responsible also, so that if someone has occur a medical bill, that person that was hit by one of these pellets do not have to worry about the medical bill, that we're going to try to make the parents pay for that.
What exactly is this happening? Some people were saying it is at the skate park as well. What the exact locations that you guys know?
So they started off at the pier, kids, and they were playing. We confiscated, I want to say 6, and when they saw the police officers, they dropped the toys. So they knew automatically they were doing something wrong. And then later on, we were able to take two pellet guns away from the car that was going up and down Beach Drive, shooting into the crowd and shooting at the 2 officers and the horse. And then we also were able to get another gel gun.
How's the horse doing now?
The horse is okay, but again, if you look, as I step over there, if you can see Storm, how great, and then look at the eye that was coming from the eye. The vet said he's gonna recover. And again, I wanted the training that the horse received, because you think about it, that horse was shot in the eye. I'm amazed that the horse didn't buck the rider off. I'm amazed that the horse didn't just go right down the street. So we're happy that the horse is going to be okay.
Is the horse at the pier, or the horse was at Beach Drive?
The horse was on Beach Drive in that area.
How many, there's like a lot of people at the pier in general. What days was this happening at the pier?
So this happened on Saturday. We can estimate there was over 200 juveniles at the pier, plus other people that were there. We don't know how many kids had these toys out there, whether it's a game or not, but we're telling you, game off. There's no game like this that will be played at the pier.
Chief, is this an isolated incident, or is the misuse of these toys something that you've seen in the city before this happened on Saturday?
About 2 years ago, we had a gentleman that was struck in the eye by one of these gel pellets. So we hadn't seen it for 2 years, and all of a sudden it came back again this weekend. And we just want to get the information out there that we're not going to tolerate this. If we see it and we can prove it that you're doing something wrong with it, hear what I'm saying. We're going to charge you. There's no ifs, and or buts about it. We will charge you.
Just to clarify, and maybe make you repeat this, at least 3 people were arrested. I know the 14-year-old was charged. Were the other 2 teens as well, one or adults?
So the adult was charged, the one that was driving the kid up and down in the car. So that was a 22-year-old. The 14-year-old that was in the car, he was charged. There was another 14-year-old that we charged for obstructing that had the gel gun and some pellets on him.
And with the other, approximately 200 at the pier, did they also have guns, or were they just teens, they were just out there?
There were just, again, there were some teens out there being teens and enjoying themselves. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, we recovered 6 that were just dropped when they saw the police officer. I don't know where those 6 came from, but we know, again, so there's 6, 8. So right now we can identify that at least 10 people were shooting or had these toys on them.
So how were the rest of the teens, I guess, involved? Do you know that they knew each other, or they went out to the pier together?
So again, they're just teens that are gathering on a Saturday night, just probably enjoying themselves, and these teens decide to bring these toys out and cause a problem. Again, I have no problem with kids going out, enjoying themselves, and having a good time. My problem is when these kids bring these toys out, start shooting to a crowd where they can hurt someone. That's where the problem, that's where the issue is. And again, we're not going to tolerate that. If they want to come out, have a great time, enjoy themselves, meet other teens, have at it. We want you to do that. But if you're going to come out and break the law, we're going to stop you and we're going to arrest you.
And the officer, was there an officer on the horse at the time? How's that officer doing?
The officer's fine. The officer was struck also, and I would say that was the most important thing. Again, think about it. That officer was sitting on that horse, and that horse is struck 3 times. The officer said he didn't realize the horse was struck because the horse just stood there. But We're fortunate. I keep wanting to say it, we're very fortunate that, again, that horse did not buck the rider off and that horse doesn't take off into the crowd.
So the horse was shot 3 times, and the officer sitting on the horse was shot, was hit once.
He was hit at least once that we're aware of.